Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie O'Malley, and I'm a junior multimedia journalism major. At the beginning of the semester, I had no idea what I wanted to do for my senior project. I didn't even know what options I had. My professor suggested the idea of going on a journey of self-discovery. This was one of the many ideas we discussed, but I really liked it. I thought that my journey could be about finding the beauty in everyday life. I have struggled with depression for a few years now, so I thought that this could help me. Maybe I could find things that made me happy, even if it was only for a second. I had the idea that I could start journaling every day about what I saw and did. I hoped that when I looked back at these entries, I might find patterns and themes, and I might notice new things. I started becoming more observant. Now I was really looking at the world around me. This project changed my perspective on life. I hope it gives you something to think about as well. Without further ado, here it is. Maybe it doesn't come as a surprise to anyone else, but it was certainly surprising to me when I realized that I was most excited for the little things in life. Even when I went on a study abroad trip to Ireland over spring break, I found myself getting the most excited for the dumbest things. That's not to say I didn't like seeing extraordinary things, such as the Cliffs of Moher or St. Patrick's Cathedral. But with those things, it wasn't joy I felt when I saw them. I was curious, in awe. These things made me think. There were more complex feelings involved. I did feel excitement, but I also had the feeling of being small. When I saw the swans in a Dublin park or the flowers blooming in windowsills, I felt happiness, excitement, and joy. It was simple and innocent. All I wanted for so long was to just be happy, and I thought that it would take a miracle. I had been suffering from depression for a while, and I wasn't excited for anything anymore. Nothing brought me happiness. It was April, and I was walking to class when I saw little green sprouts peeking up out of the dirt. Seeing the flowers beginning to come back brought me joy for the first time in months. I remember being so excited that I stopped and yelled for my friends to look. I continued to do this every time we walked that way. I even took a picture of the flowers every time to mark their growth. I thought I needed some huge dramatic thing to happen, and maybe then I would feel better. It turns out I just needed to focus on the small things that made me crack a smile, like a dog running towards their owner with a mouthful of sticks, or a red Volkswagen Beetle made to look like a ladybug. I didn't realize until I started journaling every day that it was these small things I was most excited for. When I journaled, I started really thinking about my day. If I wrote that I ate breakfast, I would talk about what I ate, and if I read the news while I did. If I said that I drove to school, I would talk about the music I listened to, if I sang along to it, if it made me sad or happy. I never used to think in terms like this. When someone asked what I did that day, I would say something like, I went to school. But I didn't talk about the ride to school, or what I said to my friends, or something I learned that made me think. I didn't think those things were important. My grandfather would ask me what I learned in class, and I would say not much. I did learn things, of course, but I didn't think they mattered enough to tell my grandfather about. But I've realized that those things do matter, or at least they matter to me. These things are what life is made up of, the small, unimportant moments in your day that you never remember, the things I thought nobody would care about when they asked me how my day was, or what I did. I've started telling people that I saw a pretty sunset, or encountered a playful stray cat when they ask how my day was. A lot of people kind of just nod and humor me, but I can tell some appreciate it. These days, I live for the little things, like the way my dog looks when he wakes up and his fur is messed up from sleep, how the snow looks as it drifts down past a streetlight, or the way the trees look when they bloom, how I feel when an old song I used to love comes on the radio and I can still sing along to every word, how it smells after it's just rained, my dog crashing into me with a shoe in his mouth when I come home, the bright green flower stems growing up from the dirt. A trip to the grocery store can be fun if you look for something small. Once, I was driving my mom to the store, and it was dark and late. I was stressed with work, but the song Bohemian Rhapsody came on, and my mom and I sang along to it. After that, I wasn't so annoyed anymore. Being stuck in traffic can be less of a pain when you look over and see a couple putting little coats on their tiny dogs. Being exhausted and stressed can be okay when you and your friends pull up YouTube videos of old songs and dance to them. Working an 8-hour shift can be good when babies smile at you and little kids compliment your hat. Life gets a lot more interesting and a little less ugly when you start paying attention to the little things.